Let's go back to 1969, one of humanity's greatest achievements. We landed on the moon. A defining moment not only for the US, but the entire species. And yet, what we remember from this iconic milestone is the American flag on the lunar soil. Now, I understand why. It was the Cold War, the space race was on. A flag like this was the perfect way to say, "Suck it, Brezhnev." But when you think about the science, the engineering, even the math that took us to the moon, you see mines and materials from all over the world. A German scientist gave us the rockets. They used Swiss optics. They had radar stations based in various continents. Indian mathematics, and we really get to give it to the Italians for stating that the universe doesn't revolve around Earth. I've always found it kind of funny thinking that the astronauts stood there on the moon, looking back, thinking, that's where we come from, the United States of America. To me, that's like being asked by the airport security where you're from, and you say your mom's name. Like, it's true, but it's way too specific. Neil Armstrong said something beautiful as he stepped down onto the moon. We've all heard this before. That's one small step for man and one giant leap for mankind. For mankind. And then they planted the American flag. So I decided to do something about this. Why? Because I'm a flag enthusiast, and I take flag moments like this very seriously. So I decided to design a flag for Earth. The rings forming a flower represents life here on Earth. They are interlocked, reminding us that all life is connected and that our actions affect one another. The blue, of course, represents the water on Earth, essential for life. But honestly, this flag could have been green, it could have been black, it could have been purple, because the idea of the flag is much more important than the specific design decisions. And I need to be clear, I didn't declare this to be the official flag of planet Earth. I don't have that authority. I just proposed this design. So why is a flag for Earth important? 2 reasons. First, flags are a visual system. So if we take the US as an example, cities on the lowest level have flags. And those cities are located in states, and they have flags. And those states, they form a country, which of course has a national flag. And that country is a part of multilateral organizations like the UN or NATO. And above that, you would have a planetary flag. And even above that, when perhaps in a few years, when we have a colony on Mars, perhaps you would have a flag for the alliance between the 2 planets. So this reason is very logical. It's just a visual representation of planet Earth. It's just like a logo for a company. But the second reason is way more important. The climate crisis is in its worst state it has ever been. And it's not getting any better. Countries are literally disappearing from the face of the Earth. And polarization just keeps dividing us even further and further. And quite frankly, the world is in need for some global solidarity as thousands of people die every day in conflicts and in famines all over the world. So for some, this flag is a symbol of what they're trying to save. And for some, it's a reminder that we're all on the same team. Because a lot of times, it doesn't really feel like we're on the same team. For instance, why do we care more when someone from our own country dies in, let's say, an earthquake on the other side of the world? 200 people might have died, but the headline in Sweden would still be 3 Swedes died in the earthquake last night. Maybe the problem isn't that we don't care. Maybe the problem is that we don't feel like we come from the same place. That's why an Earth flag is important. Flags and identity go hand in hand. Some people identify more to their nationality. Some people identify more to their state. If you meet someone from Texas, you'll notice. Someone might feel the strongest connection to the bisexual flag, and some to the colors of their favorite team. And yet, all of these might be different sides of the same person. The idea with the Earth flag is to remind people that we could also, at the same time, identify as Earthlings. Astronauts often talk about a psychological shift that they call the overview effect. It's a sudden, often life-altering realization. When you see Earth from afar, it becomes evidently clear when you don't see any national borders that we are all in this together. We share all of the challenges, but also all of the opportunities. Every time the Earth flag is being flown, it's a reminder of that shift in perspective. Just to be clear, this flag doesn't stand for any specific ideology or religion. It's just a visual representation of planet Earth. Earth, that's it. But as the astronomer Carl Sagan once said while describing this image, the pale blue dot, an image of Earth taken 3 billion miles away, when Earth is just a tiny, tiny dot, that all religions, all ideologies, every economic doctrine, and every person who we've ever known existed there, on this tiny little dot. So while the flag itself doesn't stand for any specific ideology, in a way, it holds all of them. The ones you agree with, but most importantly, the ones you don't. So how would the flag of Earth actually become the official flag? To answer that, we need to look at the rainbow pride flag. This image right here was taken in 1977. That's a year prior to when the rainbow pride flag was introduced. Now, that same kind of parade looks like this. How did this come to happen? Well, along the years, the rainbow pride flag was adopted and embraced by institutions, organizations, companies, but most importantly, people. And every time it's been used and shown, its position as the official symbol of this community grows stronger. In 2016, it even became an emoji, integrated into billions of phones around the world. That's pretty official to me. It's interesting to think about that Unicode, the software company, as a big flag authority in that way. This is the journey that the Earth flag is on. And since I released the International Flag of Planet Earth, it has reached millions around the world. It's been mentioned in the EU, it's been brought to Antarctica, it's been brought to Mount Everest, it's been flown on refugee boats in the Mediterranean, it's been shown on peace marches and climate marches. Schools around the world fly it on Earth Day, April 22nd. People keep emailing me that they've tattooed the flag onto their bodies. Their skin in the game keeps me going. A town called Ridgway in Colorado recently became the first town in the world to officially acknowledge the flag and fly it next to the American and the Colorado flag permanently on all town flagpoles. Again, every time the flag is being used and shown and flown, its position as the official symbol grows stronger. So you might ask, what could I do other than tattoo this flag onto your body? Well, this is pretty simple. Do you think Earth should have a flag? Then you should just fly the Earth flag. Whether you're hosting an international conference like this one, or you're celebrating Earth Day on April 22nd, or you're like this, launching rockets with people into space, then you should just fly the Earth flag. Flying the Earth flag isn't just a gesture. It's a symbol of unity in a time of division. It's a symbol of responsibility in a time of crisis. It's a symbol of hope when hope is needed the most. Thank you.